JP Morgan have just announced that we are likely going to face a global recession in the year 2025. But I'm realizing that quite a few people don't actually even know or can even conceptualize what a recession even is, because quite a few of you guys weren't actually conscious during 2008. And to put it quite frankly, if your parents weren't making over £500,000 or $500,000 during 2008, guarantee they felt the pinch if they weren't completely laid off altogether. You see, during a recession, money is tight, and the average consumer are the ones that end up feeling the pain the most. What this recession is going to mean for the everyday person is that things are going to become unequivocally more difficult. To get a job is going to be more difficult because jobs will not be able to afford it. People are going to be laid off at unprecedented rates. In 2008, I was 6 years old. I could not even properly conceptualize what a recession even was. But what I could conceptualize was the amount of stress my parents were under, the fact that the news was always on, and the fact that everyone was losing their bloody heads. And as we've already discussed, things are going to cost more because of the Trump tariffs. There is a reason as to why people don't give a fuck about the TikTok ban this time around, and it's because there is something undeniably worse coming.
Hey there, lovely people. Welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide, where we break down the biggest global headlines and explore how everyday folks are reacting in real time. My name is Amy, and today we are diving into something huge. JP Morgan, one of the biggest financial institutions in the world, has just predicted a recession in America for 2025. Yeah, you had that right. And let me tell you, Americans are already reacting and most of them are panicking. So I've rounded up some of the most interesting reactions to this economic forecast, and trust me, you'll want to see this. But before we jump in, if you're into real stories, real reactions, and real conversations, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on what's trending next. Alright, let's take a look at how people are responding to this chilling prediction. Then I'll be back and we can talk about it.
We have major breaking news right now. JP Morgan is officially predicting a recession in 2025 in this year because of Donald Trump's tariffs, because of how badly the market is reacting. The Dow Jones dropped 2,000 points today. Folks, that's only happened 4 times in American history. The S&P 500 lost more than $5 trillion worth of value. Investors are nervous, investors are scared, and they're conducting mass sell-offs right now in the stock market. And JP Morgan, one of the largest banks on Wall Street, is now predicting that the United States will enter a recession this year. Now, what that means for you, that means that there will be layoffs at jobs. That means that the hiring market will slow down. That means things will cost more when you go to the grocery store, when you go to buy electronics, when you go to buy a vehicle. We're not there just yet, but we're very close. And it looks like we're going to get there.
So if by chess they mean he's exacting revenge on the entire world who have largely discounted him, questioned his abilities, questioned his intelligence, questioned his ability to have power, etc., then checkmate, okay? Because make no mistake, he is enjoying putting the entire world into financial chaos. He's enjoying it. And I think this little stunt this morning with the guy going on an interview saying, oh yeah, he might, make a decision on a 90-day halt, blah, blah, blah. That was planned. That had to be planned. Sent the market into absolute chaos. I've never seen a whiplash that fast. But if you're talking about playing chess for the purposes of prosperity for everyday Americans, no.
Are we about to enter the Great Depression 2.0? I don't know, but it sure feels like we're heading that way. And let's take a little look back on history and what led to the Great Depression. And it was the Roaring Twenties, a period of huge economic growth and social development. And we're kind of experiencing that now with the tech boom and social media and just things changing on how people interact and make money. And we've had this huge boom of wealth, and it's a lot of consolidated wealth, but there's a lot of it. And then what happened was the stock market crashed. Not like we're having right now. We're having like a slow crash right now, but that was more of a sudden crash. And then what we had was tariffs. Tariffs enacted, and the tariff wars led to the Great Depression and the major fall of the economy around the world. It was a global crash. And then suddenly manufacturing stopped, international trade was halted, and people lost jobs, poverty skyrocketed, businesses crashed and fell, and it took years and years to get out of it. And what got us out of it was the start of World War II. And when war started, the war machine started, and women were able to start working, and factories started, and the industrial military complex was created in the United States of America, but not just here. All the countries were involved in this. Now, I hope we don't get to the point where it leads to this result now, because we're in a different time, and it would just be completely devastating. So the only hope I have right now is that enough Republicans get on board and remove the tariff power from Trump and take back the control, which is in our Constitution under Congress's power. They are supposed to have tariff control. Trump is doing this under this vague emergency order, citing an emergency at the border, but he's enacting this globally, not where the emergency he claims resides. So Congress needs to act. They need to rein in this power and reverse these tariffs. There is still time before it's too late, but we're running out of time, and they got to move fast.
A recession is coming. The signs are there, especially after seeing that JP Morgan analysts raised their forecast to 60%. 60%. And there are some things that you can do to prepare for what's coming.
To the people asking if this is what it felt like in 2008, I can tell you no, it doesn't. Because in 2008, we didn't have access to the information that we do now. We didn't have an app like this where we could talk to each other and see what was really going on. Yes, we had Facebook, but it was nothing like what it is now. Nothing at all. There's actually a lot more disinformation being shared there then, but no.
We don't panic during recessions. We prepare for them. Listen to your millennial friends, especially your frugal ones, because they're the ones that are going to help you survive this fourth or fifth or sixth, whatever once in a lifetime event we are going to experience.
Americans voted for Trump. You're finally getting the recession that you voted for. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you to all get exactly what you voted for. If you didn't vote for Trump, I mean, I'm so sorry if this is happening genuinely. But if you voted for Trump, you must be thrilled today. You must be thrilled. I mean, egg prices are not down yet. Grocery bills aren't down yet. You are losing your Social Security. You're losing any kind of support you have from the government. But the recession's coming. And you guys are going to crumble. Not only your own economy, the worst out of everyone's, but also the world's economy. How exciting is that for you? You're also losing allies left, right, and center. Isn't that so thrilling? I'm really glad that you were so racist and transphobic and misogynistic and quite frankly insecure and sad in your own little lives. You have to take your hate out on other people and you cause a recession for yourself.
You can really feel the panic setting in, and it makes sense, right? Because people are drawing comparisons to the 2008 financial crisis when we saw banks crash, people losing homes, and job markets completely flipping upside down. And it's a time in history that no one can forget, and the idea of something like that happening again is terrifying for many. But what's also worrying folks this time around is the role that trade tensions and yes, Trump's tariffs are playing in all of this. Many believe that these policies could be accelerating the situation and making the recession even harder to avoid. For example, recent tariffs imposed on China and other countries are causing ripple effect throughout global market, and these are serious factors contributing to this fear of an impending downfall. Now, some people even think that the current administration might be pushing this along deliberately. There are voices out there suggesting that Trump's policies might be part of a strategy, either to force economic change or to create leverage in future negotiations. Others, however, are worried that this is just making things worse without a clear plan in place. It's a tough decision. And reflecting on how the 2008 crisis affected millions of families, it's no wonder people are freaking out. Unemployment was at an all-time high, the housing market crashed, and it felt like the world was falling apart. And now, with the rise in cost of living, inflation, and market instability, it's hard not to feel a little deja vu. But hey, what can we do about it? Well, a lot of people are already taking steps to prepare, saving more, cutting back on non-essentials, and doing what they can to protect themselves financially. And with that said, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And guys, thank you so much for joining me today on Trending Pulse Worldwide. If you found this video interesting or helpful, make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button for more updates on the biggest stories out there. And remember, stay informed, stay smart, and let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, bye guys.